So during this video, we're going to go over the layers panel and how to use it in conjunction with the magic wand tool in order to get rid of the off-white backgrounds. So the first thing is that we need to be able to see the layers panel to use it. So let's look at the window menu. So if you look at the window menu, you'll see that I have layers panel selected. So if I say unselected and then reselected, it'll appear somewhere in the panels here, or it may be just floating. If it's just floating or it's somewhere where you don't like it to be, just select it and use drag and drop to put it wherever you like, and then resize it just as I showed you how to do with the history panel. Now, layers are extremely important within any graphics tool because what you do is you put, say in the case of the collage that we're looking at right now, you put every single photo in a separate layer, you put the text in a separate layer, and you put the page numbering at the very bottom in a separate layer. Then what you're able to do is you're able to move around all the items freely without having any effects upon the other images in there, the other layers. Otherwise, the first time you paste into the one layer, we'll say you have, then you better get it right as far as where it is. But you really want to be able to move around things in order to really get things going correctly or to create something which actually looks good. So first thing we'll need to be able to do is to add layers. So at the very bottom, you'll see there's a variety of different tools or controls at the bottom of the layers panel. So there's create a new layer, and if you hover over any of them, it'll tell you what it does. So we'll create a new layer, and we can create another layer, etc., as many as we like. We could double click them and then name them. So say if we had girl number 4 in there, we could put girl 4, and that would be the one that would contain the photo for that girl. So actually what I'll do right now is I'll get that girl here, I'll select her, I'll cut her out, because I'm actually not on that layer. So I'm on that layer, I cut her out. Now this is not meant to be perfect, of course, and she's there. Now, if you see on the left here, you can see little eyes now. What those eyes are is they're tools or controls which allow us to make layers visible or invisible at certain times, so opacity 0 or 100. So say if I were to push on or click on the eye and make it invisible, oh, that girl's gone, and she's back. Now, if you look down here and say get rid of this and I make it invisible, all that's left is that girl. Now the other thing I can do is I could lock a layer, say like that, and then when I do a cut of an area, it's going to select that, just her. It's not going to select other parts of the image, including the layers below it. That's the reason we lock things. It's this way we don't actually get rid of things or ever affect that specific layer if we don't want to. You only have unlocked the layers, or most of the time the layer which we want to affect or make changes to. So we have lock, we have visible and invisible, we have delete, and we have add. So those are most of the things you need to do with layers. There's a lot more parts to layers, there's groups and a lot of other stuff, but that's mainly what we'll look over here. Now, what I'm going to do now is return that girl to the way it was before. So say it's one layer. So I went back to girl 5 fixed, one of the snapshots which we used earlier. So in the next video, I'm going to go over how to use layers in conjunction with the magic wand tool to get rid of the offset white backgrounds, which we have now that we've gone over pretty well most of the tools which we need within Photoshop to actually accomplish this.